Hope you're ready. It's time for Decentralize Now.
Wait a second, you're wondering if you're gonna get sued by what?
If Fubo TV is a streaming service, and they just scared the shit out of me.
Okay.
I'm a little
please,
high, but I can tell you the story.
Yeah,
though.
fucking enlighten me. I want to hear this shit.
Is this being recorded?
Fuck yeah, it's being recorded. Yeah, I started recording when you were like, oh, a TV company might sue me.
Free the people, free the markets. Decentralize Now. Season 2.
So there's an app. It's called Fubo TV, and with Fubo TV, you can watch TV through the app. And I download this app, and there's a 7-day free trial.
I just want to say I can tell you're stoned as fuck by the way you're talking.
Well, it's true. This is the real world. This is what happened. So on the app, like I download it, right? And I used it to watch the World Series, like the postseason for baseball. But it's longer than 7 days. So I'm like, oh, well, I can just I can cancel it in the free trial. I'll never have to pay, and then just open up a new free trial, and then just get with a different credit card and get an additional 7 days. That's what I did. So I watched 7 days of baseball. My team wins. We're going on post. Cancel. Open up another one. And watch the next 7 days of baseball.
Okay.
And that's what I did.
Okay.
So I called in to cancel today my second free subscription, and the guy is like, "Good afternoon. My name is Daniel, and their name's always my name is Christopher Brown."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah, like that's your name, pal.
I am located in the United States. Yeah, sure you are, buddy.
I'm not located in the United States, but I've been there once.
I have seen many of your television shows.
I hear tales of your people. So, Michael Brown or Robert Johnson, whoever I was speaking to, he's like, "Oh, why would you like to cancel?" And he's doing his job of like having to try to save me. So, well, have you realized that you could do this with Fubo TV? Whatever, that's his job. And I'm just like, no. And he asks me, "And sir, have you ever opened an account with Fubo TV in the past?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck, this guy's on to me." Shit.
You were stoned when you called, huh?
Yeah, I was like, "No." I go, "No." Okay, and he made it like, "Yeah, okay." Like, "Okay." Like, "Yeah, okay." Would you like to cancel, sir? Yes. Fubo TV has detected that you have opened up more than one account. We consider this a breach of contract and a violation of terms. If even and then I was like, oh shit, what the fuck, am I gonna get in trouble? Like, do I have to pay a fee? I just broke the fucking law.
Fuck no.
And he goes, goodbye, click, and I
break the.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You broke their terms of service. You didn't break the fucking law.
I broke the Fubo law. So I go onto Google. I'm not even DuckDuckGoing. I'm that nervous. I'm like on Google, like, holy shit. And it's called material breach. And then I Googled what a material breach means. And a material breach is a break of contract so egregious that it renders the contract irrelevant. And I'm like, what if I broke like a material breach of the terms of service? Like, can they sue me for that?
Yeah, they're gonna waste fucking thousands of dollars on fucking lawyers to get that fucking $15.95 back from you. I think you're fucking good, dude.
Oh man, I was just coming up with legal strategies because theoretically I didn't open up the first free trial. My wife did in my name, but she did, not me. How was I to know she did that? All of a sudden, there's baseball on my TV. I don't ask questions. I don't know it's Fubo TV. I just watch it. It was just, I don't know, man. I know it's not a good story, but I was legitimately concerned until you kind of talked some sense into me that I was about to get sued.
No, they don't give a fuck about your measly 15 fucking dollars. Oh, this man, he watched the I don't know baseball teams. He watched the baseball batters play the glovers. I don't know baseball. I don't know baseball. We're going to spend.
You're not that bad that you can't name any team but the baseball batters.
Okay, the Rays, I think, is one.
Yeah.
I know the Orioles because I was on the Orioles T-ball team when I was a kid. Is Diamondbacks one, or is that just a bicycle? Okay.
The Diamondbacks, yeah. You don't have to try to name everyone you can. You get it. But what was your story? Your story was about like me getting sued.
I didn't have a story about you getting sued. You just
you
told
were just telling a story. You were just like you were in character. You were in a voice telling a story.
Was I? I'm stoned too. I don't remember.
Dude, you were doing that, and then I interrupted you, man, and you were in the voice. Hey, is this bad content, dude? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, this is horrible content. Everyone that started listening last week just fucking tuned out, and they're never coming back. Fucking chemtrail, you ass.
What you did to Fubo TV was irresponsible.
I drew the line. That crossed the NAP. You just pissed everyone off.
Theoretically, I did.
Fuck it, man. Fuck them. I would do the same shit. I do the same shit.
Are you enjoying the podcast? Just kidding. We know you are, and you're welcome. You're listening to Decentralize Now.
Oh my god, did you watch this fucking debates?
Holy shit, huh?
Even my wife was like, I can't watch this shit.
Well, if you're listening, basically when I tried to come on the program and Busted couldn't hear me, we had some technical issues. So Busted, I'm listening to him live, like thinking it's just himself for a good solid 10 minutes, just yelling at the TV, like, like an old man, like, the fuck they talking about? Fucking Jesus. It was really great because he had no idea I was listening to him.
You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar.
Yeah? What about Joe Biden's son? How you think about that? Saying some shit like unironically close to that. It was really funny. Something I want to talk about too is that in the beginning of this presidency, it was the world's going to end. Donald Trump's going to bring us to war. Flash forward like 3 years, and they're like, well, why isn't Donald Trump sending us into Iran and Syria? He's screwing up the Middle East.
Yeah, that's true.
And North Korea we haven't gone to war with North. The Democrats really are. It's not just the Democrats; it's the establishment. It's the Democrats and the Republicans. They're both a part of a military-industrial complex. They're both a war party. And that's why they fucking hate Donald Trump, is he's saying, we're not going to get into fucking wars we have no business in. He's doing a great fucking job.
I applaud him for that, but like he's scaring me a little bit, dude. Like that shit's really fucking worrying me. We are, as much as he's saying like we're pulling troops out of Iraq, we're pulling troops out of Afghanistan. Bitch, you ain't bringing them home. You're sending them to Saudi Arabia. They ain't coming home just because you pull them out of one country. You're sending them to a fucking another one. And then he made that fucking bullshit blanket statement. Fucking, oh well, Saudi Arabia is gonna pay us for the troops we're sending there. Yeah. Fucking how much of that wall did Mexico pay for, asshole? None. It's I don't know, man. It's starting to freak me out a little bit. And I'm starting to wonder if this wasn't his fucking plan from the beginning. Oh, look. We don't have to go to war to get all the benefits from a war. Let's let them take care of it themselves. We'll back it. We'll fund it. We'll be part of it, but we won't actively engage. It doesn't mean that Syria and Turkey, there's not conflicts in these countries. It doesn't mean fucking Saudi Arabia is not chomping at the bit to go to Iran, rather. It just means we're not actively engaged in it, but we are influencing. We still have a presence over there. We are influencing the direction that we're heading. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like we're gonna reap the benefits of a war without actually having to send our own troops in there, which I guess you could make an argument for or against.
Well, I mean, if you can win a war without killing your own people, I think that's always a good thing to do. I think you hit on a couple good things to talk about. The first is this: like you're right. I mean, obviously, it's got to be the whole perspective. Is Donald Trump pulling troops out, or is he just shifting them around? So I hear that argument. It has to be, obviously, what we want is a non-interventionist foreign policy where we're just completely bringing troops out and we're not just moving them from point A to point B. So I agree with that. But I mean, there's a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, the kind of things that Donald Trump is saying hasn't been said in our lifetime by an acting president. You know, in terms of pulling people out, we have to at least count that as a win for that culture.
Well, they talk about it a lot on the Democratic debates. Now they talk about pulling troops out, but like
I said president. Someone who can actually get the job done.
Okay, yeah.
It's easy to talk shit when you're just like a junior representative, but this is the fucking president. This is the commander in chief saying we need to get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely.
And we haven't had that because when Obama was commander in chief, we're bombing fucking Libya. We're doing all sorts of stupid shit. George Bush is obviously synonymous with that, et cetera, going on. Now we have Trump actually saying we need to pull out of these wars. To your point, it's true. You need to look at the whole picture, but we need to at least celebrate that culture and that normal Republicans are kind of going along with it. I think normal Republicans are confused because I think they're just, they're so used to being brainwashed by the Bush era that, support our troops, always go to war. Like going to war is a good thing. And if you don't want to go to war, well, you're a faggot. You know what I mean? And now the Republican is saying, well, let's not go into wars we don't belong in. I think they're confused.
Do you think that's an old Republican versus a new Republican kind of thing? Do you think that's that old mentality, that old boomer kind of mentality with maybe the new and upcoming conservative? Do you think there's a combatant there? Do you think age isn't really an issue? It's just kind of a personal way of thinking.
I don't know. I don't see younger people really interested in going to war. I think that there's a lot of people who take pride in the fact that we have a strong military force, and it's the belief that our strength comes from our military. But we have a lot of men coming back from war, and they're saying fuck this shit. They're coming back very libertarian, or at least non-interventionist. We have no fucking business here. We've been playing around the desert for 20 fucking years with fuck that shit.
Over 20 years. Over 20 years, really.
It's fucking insane. That's just Afghanistan.
I was going to say, that's just the war that's been going on since we've been alive. But we've been in the Middle East far longer than that.
Oh, fuck yeah. Here's one thing, too, that I want to talk about in terms of Donald Trump. It's great that he's trying to end these interventions. He's trying to basically end the occupation of another country. Because, and there's the moral argument, but I'm looking at it from an economic perspective. Obviously, it's going to free up a lot of money for us, but you can't just do that. I'm concerned, is he going to save the money from foreign intervention and then to shift that money towards the wall or some national project here at home?
Or is he going to dump it into Syria or Saudi Arabia?
Exactly. Or
Israel for Israel's wall.
Or who knows? Some stupid fucking project. So it has to be a 1-2 punch. It has to be reducing spending abroad and also at home. Just no fucking spending that we don't need to be doing.
What do you think about these new sanctions that he's put on fucking Turkey and everything, though? I mean, he's basically said, I believe this is not verbatim, but he did come out and say, if Turkey's not going to play ball, if they're not going to apologize, if they're not going to take credit for what's going on here, I'm going to destroy their fucking economy. I'm just going to I'm just going to sanction and tariff them until I got to fucking put so I'm going to just make it to they can't fucking sell and buy until they fucking collapse and die.
That's a much better method of doing it. You know what I mean? It's a voluntary, or it's a voluntary means of warfare. It's economic warfare, and it's so much more effective. What are we going to do? We're going to go to Turkey and bomb them and start World War III, or we could just stop trading with them.
Yeah, but you're going to
fucking bring them to their fucking knees.
Are you going to expect them not to lash out, though?
Who gives a fuck? If they attack us, then they have a green light for a war. I mean, if they attack us, then fuck them. But here's the thing about that. Oh, we need you. These war hawks, it doesn't matter where they're from, they're always going to have an excuse for war. Oh, the Middle East, if we just need to stay in the Middle East a little bit longer. If we just stay in there for a few more years, we're almost there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
but
time to say, no, you've had 2 fucking decades.
Bush
Enough's
did
enough.
that was talked about at one point in time. We need to get out of the Middle East. Well, we've been there so long, we can't pull out now. They're
They
dependent
depend
on
on
us.
us.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Do you remember that,
on
though,
us
right?
For what?
Well,
I do. And, it's this idea of, like, what's the mission? Why are we there? And it's like, well, without us invading their country, how are they gonna live? Like, they'll live in fucking peace and freedom. You know what I mean? Like, they'll live as they want to, or they can just solve it themselves. It's a statist argument. It's like, well, without the government regulating our lives, like, how will we be safe? It's like, well, we'll just protect ourselves and we'll figure it out. Without government, how will we build the roads? I don't know. Fucking get an ATV.
There's absolutely this Democratic debate, and like I said, I didn't watch it as extensively as I was hoping to. I couldn't have watched the whole thing again. I'd have killed myself. But
Jesus,
I work. I've talked about this before. I work overnight, a couple nights a week. So last night I worked overnight. So once my daughter was out, I took a fucking nap. And I missed a good bit of the debates. But from what I saw, just not once does personal responsibility come up with these people.
No, they don't give it. It's not in their vocabulary.
No, there's no sort of no. It's well, you did that. And you got like here's an example. Here's a quick example. And I don't want to change subjects. I like what we're talking about, but I feel like this is a little relevant, a little off course. So they're talking about the opium companies. They're talking about the opium epidemic. Well, how are we going to treat the opium epidemic? And I can't think of her fucking name. I can't think of her fucking name right now. I'm drawing a fucking brain fart. I started drinking. I was watching the debates, people. Come on. I had to have some drinks. I was fucking literally.
It's the only way you can make it through it.
Fucking Chemtrail told you. I was literally screaming at the TV when he fucking
He
died.
was. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, we need to hold the big pharma companies responsible. We need to make the companies that got them addicted to opium in the first place responsible for funding their aftercare and their rehabilitation. What the fuck? Are you stupid? What fucking big pharma company is going to pay for that? That dude's doing heroin. I didn't get him addicted to fucking heroin. Well, you got him addicted to Percocet. He's not doing Percocet. He's doing fucking heroin. I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking idiot. And I can figure out a way to get out of that. You don't think there are 400 lawyers waiting, chomping at the bit for something like this to happen? Are going to be able to figure that out? Come on. There's no personal responsibility. If you fucking choose to do heroin, yeah, I do believe that the fucking big pharma companies push fucking opioids and shit on fucking people. But you can also take the option. You can also stop at any given moment. I don't buy into that whole fucking addiction is a fucking drug. Or addiction's a drug. Addiction's a fucking disease shit. I don't buy into that. I'm sorry.
That's like saying, well, McDonald's needs to give people gym memberships because they're making people fat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they've tried doing that. They've tried, fucking, suing McDonald's for making the coffee too hot or something.
Yeah, dude, because...
But you're right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. Well, but you're exactly right. It's an attack on personal responsibility. And unfortunately, we have seas of people who don't want to be personally responsible. They don't want that. They want the government to step in and make them safe. And it's this sick need to be safe that is leading to the deterioration of our culture and our people and our economy and our way of life. Fuck that. Freedom isn't fucking safe. It's not about safety. Fuck your safety. It's about freedom. And in order to live in freedom, you have to understand, hey, you're going to make some fucking bad choices and shit's going to happen. You can't be looking to an external authority to solve everything for you. It comes from weak people. And the weaker we are and the more afraid and wimbly that we are, the more powerful the state can become. They want to completely eradicate that personal responsibility from every aspect of life.
Free the people, free the markets. Decentralize now.
You know, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and man, they're just so good at packing information into that 30 minutes, but they're no nonsense. You know?
Yeah.
Here's what's going on, and this is what happened today. And if you support this, you can go here, and you can check us out here, and you can check us out here, and you can send us money here. I mean, they talk like that. That guy has said it a million times. You know, he has that
Send us
rehearsed.
money.
Yeah, and he's got it rehearsed, and they get that information out so quick. So we're here with so and so, and he's doing this, and this is what we want to know. And what do you think about this? How do you? They give their answer. Well, that's very interesting. What do you think about this? Like they just boom, 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 boom. There's
Do
no
you
lag
not like
time.
that, or do you like that?
Sometimes I like it, but I like to be entertained as well as informed, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this isn't like a Tom Woods tier show. Like this isn't the Lou Rockwell show or anything. But I feel like we get into deep discussions. So, well, I don't think it's too silly.
Absolutely. You know, and I feel like when we started to, I feel like we try and stay on message. This is a libertarian podcast. There's a lot of stuff going on in the media and in the world and in politics. We try and touch on all of that, but shit, man, we also like to have a few beers and drink some weed. Jesus Christ, drink a few beers and smoke some weed and relax. Talk about goofy shit too. So I think it's good to have episodes like that every once in a while.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever gonna be. Excuse me. That style of podcast that's like a Tom Woods or Lee Rockwell. We're more of like an edgy Lions of Liberty.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I definitely feel we're more on the conservative side of the of the Libertarian Party, and I'm sure that draws as many people as it turns off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, some people will be attracted, some people won't.
I feel like a lot of libertarian podcasts too, and there's not a lot of true libertarian podcasts.
Right.
I feel like there's a lot of like Republican podcasts and shit that spread a libertarian message. Can't think of really any liberal kind of podcast I listen to be honest, and maybe that's a little one-sided of me. But
that's it. I mean, what's a good liberal podcast? Like, is there something called like the Commie-cast?
The Commie-cast.
Dude, if I was a communist, the Comcast or whatever, yeah.
I bet it would draw a great crowd because you get just as many people that were for you as were against you.
Well, controversy goes a long way,
Absolutely.
So I think it's something the communists have for them. We'll start with there. Do you think all the Greta Thunberg's an idiot, AOC's dumb? Do you think that stuff helps them by giving them more notoriety?
We've talked about this a little bit before, and this might be a little off subject as to how you meant it. But we talked about this before. Trump got so much publicity because he just came out, said what he thought. He's not a politician. He didn't adhere to these little formalities and shit. He made it his own. He really went for broke. And sometimes I wonder, kind of like you were saying, is that I feel like maybe that's what they're doing a little bit. Maybe that is good for the Democratic Party to have someone that's a little crazy out there because. Rationally, I mean, any rational person can look at what she says and go, well, that's not possible. She's caught up in the moment because she's young, she's heated. I'm not trying to defend AOC by any fucking means, but I think they're able to look at her and see see through the bullshit to some fucking degree. And, I think, to get back to kind of what you were saying, yes, I think being a little crazy and a little radical is definitely a good way to get some publicity. Even when something bad happens, they say there's no bad publicity, right? So she's still drawing attention to the Democratic Party. Is it good? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, no publicity is bad publicity. So No,
it'll definitely bring more notoriety to them. One thing that I wanted to ask was this: isn't it terrible that you have to defend the people leading the government by saying, listen, they're young, they're emotional at that age, you know what I mean? Like
well, you don't understand, it's this way, or well, they're the closest to doing that than anyone's ever been before. Yeah, it is. It's disappointing.
You sound like you're like defending your child who's in the emo phase. Like I would defend him the same way. Listen, he's young,
he's creative,
he's emotional, he's going through a lot. It's a tough time in his life right now.
Yeah. It's so true. God, yeah, it's exactly. Yeah. I support what she says, but she's young. She doesn't know how it works. Her heart's in a good place.
Her heart's in the right place, and that's all that matters. Is that she means well. No, your brain has to be in the right place when you're fucking leading one of the world's greatest economies.
You can't run a fucking country on feelings, buddy. Sorry, hate to break it to you, but no one gives a fuck how you feel.
That I think that's a segue into a message regarding decentralization of government. The more we centralize the government, the more people like this have power over you. People who you have to say, well, they're really trying. I mean, they're screwing things up, but we have to keep giving them a chance. You don't want to have to give people like that large amounts of power over you. And there are stupid people. There are naive people. There are clinically psychopathic, bad people, incompetent people who can gain large amounts of power over your life through regulation. That's a terrible situation.
And they will.
And they will. And they can control, and they're gaining more and more and more control. So it's just an argument for decentralization that, we're already at this point where we're having to, excuse or make excuses for our rulers. We have the decentralized government so people who are evil can't have every type of control over your life.
Absolutely. I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they didn't give us any money, so I'm not going to say their fucking name. But they had Ken Armstrong on, who's actually coming on the podcast. That episode will air next week. But he was talking about that, specifically what he was talking about on this podcast I was listening to, which was kind of cool, was the medical field, specifically medications, big pharma, and how, he said he had spent a lot of time in Mexico. And in Mexico, you can get drugs there, not drugs like illegal drugs, but like medicine, like actual medicine that you would need. The same pills, because they're not regulated like they are in America, you can get for pennies on the dollar, but they cost you $500 in America because it's so heavily regulated. It's the same fucking pill. It maybe wasn't in quite a sterilized environment as the one you spent $500 for, but it does the same thing. So by deregulating that, we can bring these costs of these medicines way down.
Of course.
What he was kind of saying is, that brings Medicare down, and Medicare starts becoming affordable because not everything's $500 and $600, $700. It starts to become $5 for a prescription. People can afford $5.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, when you deregulate an economy, absolutely prices are going to drop, and we can only benefit from low prices. So I absolutely agree with that, and that's something that's people who oppose libertarianism will say shit like, well, you guys are just in it for the corporations. You just want to support them over the people. Corporations love regulation for the reasons that you just mentioned.
Exactly.
By regulating it and putting these places, they can jack the prices up. And if they know you've got insurance coming from the government to pay for it, they know you're good for it. There's no market incentive for them to lower prices.
Exactly. Yes.
And that goes back to what I was saying about centralization of government. Like, there are people who don't give a fuck and will consciously make that situation, they'll engineer that situation where they will just arbitrarily raise the price of your drugs to keep you and your family alive just to make more money. We can't let those people like that have power over us. We can't allow them to have a mechanism to.
Absolutely. And when you say something like that, to somebody who's maybe a liberal, they'll, well, how is that? Well, we should regulate it. We should regulate it more. No. We need to not regulate. You know what I mean? They seem to have this backwards way of thinking by getting the government involved and regulating it and making sure that things like it's illegal for companies to do things like that. Well, I mean, I guess you could get that through regulation. I feel like there's always a back door, but by, like you were saying, deregulating it, well, now you have, like you were saying, incentive to go against your competitor, make those prices lower.
Exactly.
It seems pretty cut and paste, man. I mean, it's pretty 101 stuff, but it's people. You start talking about deregulation, and people get scared.
They do, and I think to your point, like liberals will look at a situation, or progressives and communists, things like that, and they will libertarians, you don't care about the people. Deregulation is like pro corporation. So they see corporations, and perhaps rightly so, as devious mechanisms that oppress people, and the libertarian is seeing the government as that mechanism. So I think there's a little bit of truth to both of those sides for sure. But one thing that I think we need to discuss with the communists and socialists and Democrats, they see the government as protectors against the free market. They see the government as the will of the people. That's what communism is all about. It's not, we're not oppressing the masses. It's the people coming together in unity. So that's how they're deluded into seeing the government as the will of the people. So I think that has to shift in their mind, and that's a tactic you're going to want to change. So to get them to stop seeing the government as the expressed will or the manifested will of the people, but to see it as force that is used to control them, because that's really what the government is.
It's absolutely yes.
You can't have a government without force. When the force of government isn't there, there is no government. People just do what they want.
Yes.
So there's only a government when there's force. So once you see the government as that, now when you see government, you see this is force used to control me by people I don't consent to have control. Then you become anti-government. Then you kind of see things. But the communists and the socialists, they've been convinced, or they've been duped into believing that the government is the express will of the people. So they see it as a defender. So that's kind of my take on how to talk to a liberal.
You think you've heard it all? You haven't heard shit. Stick around for more Decentralize Now.
You know, you said the Democrats really see the government as the protector, and that's very abundant. I mean, if you watch the debates, if you watched any of the debates, more specifically the ones last night, it becomes very apparent that the government is mama. The government is mama.
Yeah,
Mama's going to take care of you. You come here. You bring your kids here. You come here illegally. That doesn't matter because we love you. Big Mama's going to take care of you. And it's just not how it works. And they also seem to have this idea that it's all the rich people's fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if these rich people didn't have so much, if they didn't have so much money and power, then people like us wouldn't be suffering. Power would be back to the people because they wouldn't hold monopolies on everything. And then they turn around and they vote for the people that hold the very monopolies on everything that they fucking hate.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I mean, like, do you not think those people on the stage have fucking money? Do you not think that they're fucking going home to their fucking mansions? They're going to sit there and preach to you that you need to give up a piece of your pie so somebody else can have a fucking chance at the American dream. And then they go back to their fucking $8 million fucking mansion. That's hypocritical as fuck,
psychopathic.
Now that's their money. If they want to buy an $8 million mansion, I think that's they should totally be able to do that. But just the hypocrisy of it,
Oh yeah, well you bring up a great point with that regarding the Democratic debates, because in order to enter the Democratic debates, you have to raise so much money.
It's a ton. It's what is it, 85,000 or something like that?
It's some stupid fucking amount of money.
Probably pulling that dollar amount out of my ass. Let me see if I can find it, but go ahead.
It's got to be fun. Yeah, you look that up. It's got to be astronomical. But for them to say like, well, it's the 1%, it's the rich people who are causing problems. They're not letting any fucking poor people speak their mind in their fucking debate. They've got to raise a stupid amount of money. It's completely hypocritical.
Actually, Ken was talking about that on said podcast I will not name. That I was listening to the other day. I really like this guy. I'm excited to have him on the show, man. I think he's kind of a breath of fresh air to the Libertarian Party a little bit.
Awesome.
And he's got a ton of experience, man. We won't get into that right now because he is coming on the show, and I don't want to take all the talking points away. But he said that. Let's get the this isn't verbatim how he said it, but let's get the farmers in there. Let's get the poor people in there. Let's get the people that don't basically go back to their $8 million mansions every night. Let's get them in the debates. Let's get them talking. Let's give the poor everyday American that knows what life is like. Let's give them a chance, and it's definitely designed to where the only options you're going to get are people that are raising dollars, people that are already in the pockets of big investors, people that don't know what it's like to be me and you. They keep us out of it.
They have no fucking idea. And here's the thing, dude. Do you think these motherfuckers like posing at the soup kitchens and all that shit, like they really give a fuck? Like they
No,
give a shit. They know what they're doing, dude. They're looking at these people as
absolutely,
fucking
yes.
batteries. Oh,
They're-
look at all the batteries we have.
Look at all the
They're
free
using it,
publicity, yeah. And it's
you
funny
know.
you said that because there was a picture I saw today, and it was not regarding what we're talking about, but it was a picture of Bill Clinton, and he's like in some third world country, and like I guess bringing water or supplies to him or something, and like he's in brand new like Amazon gear. Like I don't know how to fucking put it, but the buttoned up shirt with like the breathy vest, like the fishing vest and all that shit, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like same thing with the soup kitchen. You see them in
Yeah.
their brand new fucking white overcoat type of thing. Like it's like they show up, they take the picture, and they're gone. They don't fucking do anything. They're not handing out anything. They didn't go to that fucking country to sit there for 3 hours and fucking hand out supplies. They didn't go to the soup kitchen to pour soup in fucking piece of shit homeless people's bowl. No, they got the picture and they got the fuck out of there. Maybe they threw some money at them.
It's like that with the Republicans and the Democrats. Like, the beliefs and these people don't give a shit. It's about power and it's about money. It's about their status. And the way they get that is by making people choose them over someone else. And the way that they get others to choose them over someone else is by saying things that they want to hear. And that's how you get politicians. They don't give a fuck.
No.
You'll have like a random Bernie Sanders or Rand Paul, who I think they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, but they honestly believed in what they were saying. But the rest of these people, or a good majority of these people, I think they know they can have a great lifestyle, lots of money, if they get you to push their name in a machine. And the way to get them to push your name in a machine is to say enough shit that more people will agree with or whatever, or will want to hear. That they don't actually believe in what they're saying.
I think most of the candidates up on stage kind of prove that theory to be true. You know what I mean?
And that's why they flip flop. That's why they can flip flop, because they don't give a shit.
Well, Sleepy Joe, he'll say anything to get the camera on him. Now, we go back to what you said before. Is that extremist kind of absurdity? Is that good for the Democratic Party? Does that bring people to them? I think Sleepy Joe is a good argument for that. Let's just put this crazy asshole out here, say whatever the fuck we want, and then we'll just get a vice president to actually run everything, kind of like we did with Bush and Cheney. I mean, I don't know why they keep pushing. I don't know why they push Joe Biden. Like I've said this so many times in this fucking show. Nobody likes this asshole.
It's got to be just like they put with Clinton, which is the same bullshit, the same manufactured bullshit. There has to be a cabal of people behind the scenes making their move. And Joe Biden has been deep with the Clintons. I guess that's what they call the deep state. That shit's already been decided. They're already fucking cliques of people who are, okay, what are we going to do? What's our move? That shit's already been decided. It might go terribly wrong. And, I wonder the same about Donald Trump. I mean, did Donald Trump run on his own, or was he chosen? You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think Donald Trump is the real deal, like a real rebel outsider, or do you think this is kind of a ruse?
I don't know, man. We've by the way, I can't find how much it costs. I've typed in how much do the candidates pay to enter the Democratic debates. How much does it cost to enter the Democratic debates? How much do candidates pay to enter debates? Like I've looked up every form of it, and I can even on DuckDuckGo, and all I could find is like the salary of these people, and like I can't find anything definitively that's like it costs this much to do this. So that amount I said earlier, just if you guys were holding that to your heart, ignore it because it's horseshit. I don't know how much it costs, but it's definitely more than me and you could afford. Now, to what you were saying, I think a lot of us thought that when Donald Trump entered, threw his hat in the ring, I think we all reasonable people, not a lot of the Republicans, but people like me and you, stepped back and went, what's the fucking motive here? Because this guy's not a Republican. He's never been a Republican. Mm-hmm. What's going on? And I think me and you, you might have turned me on to that theory, but it was a fairly common theory going around that he was trying to get publicity for his television show on NBC. So he said, well, fuck it, I'm going to run for president. That'll get me on TV. People like seeing me. That'll bring your ratings up, and you can give me my show back. I don't know if you could hear that. I farted. And I think very professional podcast. I thought that for a long time. I really did. That he just did it for publicity. And I still think he might have. And then kind of got into office and was like, well, fuck it. Let's go. Let's do it. I can make it happen. I can make this work. And I've applauded a lot of the stuff he did up until recently with this whole Middle East stuff. I don't, he, like I said when we were recording the other day, he keeps saying he's pulling troops out of Afghanistan, out of Iraq, out of all these places, but he's just sending them to Saudi Arabia. It's not like they're coming home. And Iraq is very resentful of us pulling out of their country. In Afghanistan, I just think that was a hoax, man. Because they're like, oh, we're pulling out of Afghanistan. Then all of a sudden, like the Taliban does some huge attack. We need to assert our dominance and power. Why wouldn't you have waited for us to fucking leave first, idiot? Like, I just think that whole thing was horseshit. I think for some reason they said you can't pull out of Afghanistan, and they needed to come up with a reason. But is he the real deal? I go back and forth on that, man. I don't know that I can give a 100% honest answer on if I think he's the real deal or not. Because, every time he does something that I'm happy about, it's not too long after that I go, oh, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I found this on Google. This was on Business Insider. The Democratic National Committee raised the fundraising stakes even more by requiring 2020 Democrats to reach 3% in 4 national polls and secure 165,000 individual donations from donors in at least 20 states.
Wow.
So it sounds like you have to have donations by 165,000 different people, and then you can make it in.
You're currently listening to the best podcast in the whole fucking universe. Decentralize now.
One thing I do want to point out, because I know Tulsi Gabbard is
Yeah.
I know she's. I hear people talking about her in the Libertarian Party.
They're kind of like, hey, that's cool.
I don't personally like her. I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. Like, I couldn't pinpoint a reason, but I just don't trust her. It's just something about her. I don't think is sincere.
Well, she's a woman.
Oh shit! Hey, at least she's a white woman. People, I'm joking. I'm fucking joking. It's a goddamn joke.
She's not. She's a Hawaiian. Are Hawaiians white?
We sound like the whitest people ever right now.
Are they? Are Hawaiians white people?
Oh my god,
dude! I don't think Hawaii. I mean, there's nothing wrong with not being a white person.
What's like the stereotypical like color for Hawaiian? Pineapple.
Pineapple.
Oh man, I'm leaving this in.
Content.
I'm leaving this shit in.
No, but I want to resolve this. Are Hawaiians considered white people?
I'm gonna look it up.
Are Hawaiians white people?
Are Hawaiians white people? Oh my god, are Hawaiians considered white? Actually came up in the suggestions. It just says I'm a racist piece of shit. It doesn't say anything else. The rainbow of cultures its residents brag about is no exaggeration, but some say that beneath the veneer of the generality are deep-seated ethnic and racial tensions between the island's white community and native Hawaiians. So, no? Heol is a Hawaiian term for individuals who are not native Hawaiian or Polynesian, usually white people. Okay, so no, Hawaiians are not white people. I was ready to let you in our club, Hawaiian people.
All right.
But Chemtrail says no.
Hold on 1 second. I got a thing for you.
Yeah, I think we need to take a break.
No, keep saying stuff. Keep saying stuff. I got something for you.
Let me ask you this before we get into this bit, unless you're ready to go with it.
A few more seconds. Keep going.
A lot of these people, and a lot of this thrives from more of the anarcho side of the fucking Libertarian Party. Those borderline kind of anarchists who say that voting doesn't matter, it's a waste of time. They kind of look at people like me and you, that the very fact that we took the time to go out and vote shows that, oh, you're not a real libertarian. That shit doesn't
Fuck
matter.
that.
Do you feel like voting doesn't matter? Because I do feel that generally they kind of know who's going to win the election before it ever happens.
Is that what happened with?
But at the same time, I don't. I want to go out and I want to vote libertarian. I want to put that on the ballot. I want those numbers to show up. I want to be part of the percentage that shows up on the TV. Just if it gets people interested and it does nothing else, I want to show people that, like, hey, there's us out here that don't stand for this shit, and that might be stupid. Some people might not like that, but I think it's good to go out and say, hey, I'm here, I have a voice, and I don't like this shit.
Well, I think, the voting doesn't matter. You know who voting matters to? Fucking Democrats. They've mattered to them like a motherfucker. They're doing everything they can to fill it with votes. So absolutely it fucking matters. And the whole thing about, well, they already know who's going to win. Did they know Trump was going to win? I thought up until the day he won.
Didn't seem like it, did it?
Didn't fucking seem like it. So this whole, like, nihilistic, don't vote, man. Fuck you, pal. Fuck you.
I stay away from that a lot because my presence on Facebook. I typically try and be somewhat lighthearted. I try and be funny, but I'll stand up and speak my fucking mind if you hit a nerve. And I feel like when people talk about voting not mattering, or I find people talking shit to people who said that they voted one way or another, I tend to just kind of steer clear of it because I kind of don't want the backlash, because I see their fucking point. You know what I mean? And I feel hypocritical to be like, well, no, it does matter. Well, does it? I don't know. I don't know if it matters or not, but I know I'm going to do it.
Yeah, it does. It totally matters. It absolutely matters. I think they're actually helping the powers that be by not voting. At least have some dignity and give whatever collective power you have a voice. Don't fucking throw that shit away. What is that? Oh, it spreads anarchy. Fuck you. Are you okay if I go for a bit?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Dear Hawaii, hello. Thank you for being so great. You've done a lot for us. You've surfed the waves and Kahlua into our hearts. You gave us the hula hoop and so many wonderful memories. We value you. However, we regret to inform you that you as Hawaiians are not white people. White people don't live in houses of grass. Or put pineapple on pizza. Please refrain from identifying as the following ethnicities: Italian, even to get free pizza. It also goes for Serbian, Croatian, Spanish, or Portuguese. But we know you won't pretend to be Portuguese because no one wants to be Portuguese. Not even the
This bit died so fast. Oh my god.
Thank you for your consideration on this matter, white people.
That was so
Dude,
fucking dumb.
Hear that shit.
That was so fucking dumb.
What kind of crazy things will our heroes talk about next? Stay tuned to find out.
Tulsi Gabbard, like, the reason that the Democrats hate Tulsi Gabbard is that she's reminding the Democrats of what they used to be. She's a small government, in a sense, small government. I mean, I mean, I don't agree with all her policies, but she's very big on drug decriminalization. Probably one of the only motherfuckers up there serious about it. And she blasted Kamala Harris about that shit because Kamala Harris worked with the police, was huge into incarceration, working with the private prison system.
Yep.
And Gabbard blasted Harris on that shit. And she's the only one saying, "Hey, let's get out of these stupid fucking wars." The
Absolutely,
Democrats are they're pro government, they're pro criminalization, and they're definitely a part of the war machine.
She definitely seems to be like an actual Democrat.
Exactly, yeah. Well, what a Democrat was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, yeah.
She went after a lot of the mainstream media outlets as well, including CNN, which I believe was broadcasting it at the time. And she was like, "Yeah, CNN's a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself." She really called the mainstream media out for their responsibilities on getting information correct.
Yeah, I think she's a breath of fresh air. I mean, I hope she doesn't win because she would destroy Trump. And I don't know, dude. What would you rather have, Donald Trump or Tulsi Gabbard? Maybe Tulsi Gabbard wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Like, who do you hate the most? Or not even who do you hate? Who would you choose?
I'd love to get out of the Middle East.
Yeah, it's true, man.
God, I don't know. I just have such a fucking what's the word? Like a stigma against voting for a Democrat. Yeah, just voting for a Democrat just seems like blasphemy.
Fuck. I guess with Tulsi, I wonder what her thing is with guns. She's probably pro gun control.
She was in the military for a long time, so I don't know. And
if Tulsi Gabbard was pro gun, pro drug criminalization, and got us out of the Middle East, I'm down. Fuck it. Do your
absolutely.
Healthcare.
Fuck yeah.
If she's for those three, okay, fuck it, whatever. Do whatever you want with her fucking healthcare. I don't give a shit. I'll take those three.
Think of them. I mean, I wonder that. I mean, if we didn't have that expense of being, a constant military presence in all these countries, the amount of money we would save. I wonder if something like they'd always talk about centralized healthcare, Medicare for all, rather. I wonder if something like that wouldn't be, viable or possible without hurting small businesses, fucking people like me over, making me owe more money than I have at the end of every fucking year for a service I didn't fucking ask for. I wonder
Can you
if things
imagine?
like. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, dude.
No, I just say I wonder if things like that would be viable if we just weren't dumping so much money into these other countries.
Yeah, that's a valid point. We spend a lot of money in the military, and that's where Democrats and libertarians or communists okay, you want your fucking programs, that's cool, but get us out of these wars too. You know what I mean? I'm not into
these
programs at all.
Now you're talking about politicians working together, and I don't know if we'll ever get back to that.
No, fuck that. But God, we spent so much money on the military. Think of a lot of money.
Think of how many bombs we drop in the middle of the desert where there's nothing. Well, maybe there's something out there. We should blow it up.
Well, hey, it's coming off the taxpayer's dime, right? So they have an endless supply of money in their eyes. So just, fucking bombs away. Bomb monkeys.
Do it. Do what?
If we can do it. I'm working at the government here, and I'm like, well, fuck it. Let's just build more bombs. Build fucking robot monkey bombs. Who gives a shit?
Hey, I got a company already that builds bombs. Why don't you put that money into the company I'm a stockholder in, and we'll make all the bombs for you? That's how it really fucking works.
Stocks, dude. I have stock.
I was about to ask, do you play the stock market at all?
I missed a huge opportunity. The banks were down from like $30 a share to like $27 a share. And I was like, damn, that's low for the banks. And the banks aren't going anywhere, so it's going to pop up. So I was going to dump a lot of my Aflac insurance stock into a particular bank stock because it was so low. But I missed the opportunity. What about you?
I do not. I always say I'm gonna fucking do it, but that's not my world. I would need a lot of guidance to dive into something like that because I really wouldn't know what I was doing. I wouldn't want to put my money on the line. Just willy nilly, no idea if I'm getting it back or not. It's not my thing. I do have a buddy who put a lot of money into Disney like fucking 15 years ago or some shit, dude. And he's just like, I'm just sitting here watching it go up. he's making some fucking cash.
Like, how does your money replenish? I guess if your stock is rising so much, I actually don't want to talk like this on a recorded line because I don't fucking know how the stock market works. But let's pivot into that. How come we don't know how the stock market works? You know, Thomas Sowell said that there's an intentional dumbing down of the public and not giving them any real education. So that way their arguments are always coming from morals or feelings, but not facts, not the economy. Like we are generations of people who, if we don't go out and seek this shit on the internet, you're not going to know any economic information.
It's true, you know. I'm definitely. I'm not trying to make myself sound like a victim when I say I don't play the stock market or I don't know how it works. I mean, I could put the time in and read about it. I feel like it's more in depth than just reading about it and be like, this is how it works when it comes to investing real money into a stock that is going to go somewhere or not. But I do think there's something to that. You know, well, I don't know. I mean, wouldn't they want everyone's money in the stock market so they can play with it? Wouldn't they want your money? Wouldn't they want the rich people's money? Wouldn't they want the poor person's money? You know, I mean, do you really feel like they're trying to keep us out of it? Do you think there's an intentional dumbing down of people to keep them out of the stock market and things like that? I mean,
I think so. That makes sense to me. I mean, it's not even like maybe just by Wall Street or it's the stock market, but dumb people are easy to exploit.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there's a certain group of people that calls another group of people a bunch of cattle, and
the Jews.
Let's just with the goyim. You want to keep the goyim dumb because if they get smart, they can. Intelligence is a weapon. You know what I mean? Being clever. There's a saying that I believe it's true. Boyd Rice, a big influence in my life, said that the strong rule the weak and the clever rule the strong. And I think that's the natural order of things.
Yeah.
So being clever is more powerful than being strong. You know, because you rule the strong that way. And I think that there are groups of people that do that. And they want to make sure they don't have competition.
Free the people. Free the markets. Decentralize now.
Here's a story from San Antonio, Texas. It says, a Texas man was arrested for threatening San Antonio mayor 14 times in 2 days on Facebook. So I guess, you know, if you communicate a death threat to someone.
Was it a death threat? Like he was like, I'm going to come there and I'm going to fucking shoot you in the face. Or was he just like, you're an asshole, butt fucking piece of shit? Like, I mean, was he just talking trash?
That is actually a good question because I'm getting nervous about what's happening on Facebook. It's not like a game. Like, people take that shit seriously. And what you post on Facebook is being used to probably identify. You're probably on a watch list if you post certain memes and shit. But they'll definitely pull you down if you post edgy videos of yourself shooting guns and make a statement.
I'm very outspoken against the police and Israel
on
my page,
shit,
and I worry sometimes because they'll be like, "Oh, cop shoots innocent person in the face," and I'll be like, "Fucking burn him," you know. Like, I'll say some shit like, "Fuck this motherfucker," you know, shoot him back, you know, shit like that, which seems, I think, pretty innocent, but I do worry sometimes, like, damn, dude, I guess somebody could take that and spin it, you know. I never used to think that, but we definitely live in a world today where you do have to kind of be conscious of what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. It's becoming the real world. There was an idea that your online real. There weren't any rules, and now we're finding out differently. It's not a toy. This guy's image, he looks like he's the leader of like a really bad death metal band. He's got long hair, but he's kind of chubby. So it looks like he definitely has a job at like Kroger, but also has a metal band, and he just hasn't given it up yet. But anyway, it says,
"Welcome to Kroger. Check out my new band. Here's a CD. Have a nice day."
Hey, Bill. Hey, can I have next Thursday off? Hey, I got a show. According to a warrant affidavit cited by the paper, Converse, which is the guy's last name, Converse sent at least 14 threatening messages to the Center San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg through Facebook Messenger on October 4th, saying, "It would be nicer to leave you all dead with no hope of life after death. I want to see people dead. People will lose hands, arms, feet, and heads. Don't even try me," read another, according to the affidavit. But I wonder if that's, if you do blank, 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 people will lose hands, arms, feet, and heads. I don't know. I'm trying to defend this guy, but that's an actual threat. Like he needs to go to prison for that, doesn't he?
I mean, that would freak. If I got that message, that would fucking freak me out. I mean, without a doubt. And it's not like he just posted in the comment section. I mean, he thought to send the guy like a personal message, like, "Hey, just so you know, I'll cut hands and feet off of motherfuckers if you do this." You know, it's so hard too. It's so hard to be, well, free speech. You can say whatever the fuck he wants. You know, he didn't take the actions, but I mean, that's intense. I'm on the fence with it. You know, I struggle with that a lot. Is that okay for him to say that? I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
here's a great point, though. I'm reading it in the comments. This guy's name was Hockey Hunter, and he said this shows the fucking hypocrisy of the Democrats. What was that bitch's name that like chopped Donald Trump's head off, like a fake Donald Trump's head, and posed with it? And she was a Kathy Griffin. Griffin, you remember that?
God, no, I don't. But just that name is. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know Kathy Griffin. Just
Kathy Griffin
horrible.
had, as a joke, took a picture of herself, and it was like holding Donald Trump's decapitated head.
Yeah, she came out and had to apologize for that shit, I think.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Threaten the mayor of San Antonio, you go to jail. Threaten to decapitate the president, you get on CNN. Like, these people threaten the fucking president every fucking day. They don't go to prison. I'm not saying it's like, well, hey, I don't know. I feel like it's a really dumb thing to bring up.
For sure, the responses in his fucking Twitter feed are more violent than that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I always wonder about that. I battle with that a lot. You know, free speech. You say whatever the fuck you want. You know, words don't have meaning. But I don't know. I mean, I guess because he had power, you know, he got arrested. It seems like other measures could have been taken. I don't know. Like you said, it is hard to defend that, isn't it? I mean, that's pretty hard to defend. I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna cut your head off. Like, yeah, he didn't mean it. He's a good boy.
Just kidding.
He's just going through a tough time. You don't understand. He's just.
It sounds like someone in government. Yeah. Dude, the comment section, this is hilarious. You can tell it's boomers. This is from user who's had the account for one day. U.S. Navy Chief, all caps, retired.
Made the account just to post on.
How come this guy get arrested and no get arrested for threatening the POTUS? What a double standard. I'm so disappointed in you, America. All one sentence.
Yeah, that guy's not American. Hey, why not do you do this when you threaten guy? Hello. Have a nice day, America.
This is from Hellboy. Sounds like CNN talking about Trump. Like, there's so much Trump support. This has nothing to fucking do with Trump. There's nothing to do with Trump at all. And it's his comment after comment about, yeah, it sounds like they're talking about Trump.
Oh my God, they kept doing that on the fucking debates last night.
They kept talking about Trump all day?
Do you enjoy peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Well, you know, Trump is destroying this country. What the fuck, dude? Like, everything, like, what would you do about this? Well, I would do this. And the reason that we don't have a society like this is because Trump's a racist. Like, they had no... They brought up his name. It was like a fucking... It was like a... what am I trying to think of? It was like a formula. Trump name, something bad, why this doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, you know, anything they could think of. Well, why aren't what do you want to do about the education system? Why aren't teachers paid more? Because Trump drinks orange juice. Okay? That motherfucker drinks from concentrate orange juice and it's killing the planet. I don't know. That was stupid. That was stupid.
Man. No, I think it was fun. I love this article. It's the Babylon Bee. It says Trump blamed by Democrats for causing violence in typically peaceful Middle East.
I love those satire fucking sites, dude.
Yeah. Babylon Bee is terrific.
Hey man, I think I'm gonna hit the hay.